こんにちは、ジャパニーズアーモのミサです。Hey guys! 今日は日本語の文章を読む練習をしましょう。So first, 文 and 文章 usually mean the same thing. So I can also say 日本語の文を読む to mean to read a sentence, to read a Japanese sentence. But 文 usually refers to a single sentence, whilst 文章 is more like sentences. So it can be an article, essay, text. So it's a series of sentences usually. And we're going to read an article today. So I used the word 文章. And you might want to know the word 文法 as well. That's grammar. 文法. So 文 is sentence and 法 is how we say law. So sentence law is how we say grammar. 今回はひらがなタイムズを使います。ひらがなタイムズの記事を読みます。私は子供の時にひらがなタイムズを読んでいました。ひらがなタイムズは雑誌です。雑誌 magazine. But specifically, it's great for learning English or Japanese. So when I was a student, I was reading this to study English. So I was genuinely happy when they sent me these magazines. So they also have an app version, and so I'm going to share the screen of the app so we can read it together. On the app, you can download all the issues, and they also have lots of articles, and I want to show you an example first. Culture, 文化. I've talked about this before in some videos, but this is really important, so let's read this. Japanese prefer vague expressions. 曖昧な表現を好む日本人. So 曖昧な means vague or ambiguous. So you can, for example, say 曖昧な答え, like vague answer, ambiguous answer. So Japanese people do this a lot, right? 例えば、今忙しい? Are you busy now? And you can say, まあね. Like, well, yeah, kind of. Like, you know, we don't really say yes or no clearly. And 好む is a verb that means to like or to prefer. So 好き? You remember 好き? So お茶が好きです means I like tea. And 好き here is a な adjective, 好きな. So you can say 好きな本 to mean favorite book, right? So you can put it in front of a noun as well. Yeah, usually you can say something が好き to mean I like something. And you also use this word to say that you like somebody, you love somebody. It's all contextual, but it can mean love as well. But 好む is quite a formal word, so we often use it in writing. And also 好む can mean to prefer. So it doesn't have to mean to like necessarily, just to like, to have a preference. And you don't use 好む about liking or loving somebody. So if somebody says ミサを好む, that sounds so weird. Like, anyway, so on the app, you first see the translation, and then you see the Japanese sentence. Like, I genuinely wanted to make an app like this, but there already is one. So what's so cool about this app is you can listen to the audio. Click here, and you can choose English and Japanese option. So it would sound like this.
Japanese prefer vague expressions.
曖昧な表現を好む日本人。
Or you can just select Japanese only and listen to the Japanese audio.
曖昧な表現を好む日本人。日本には自分の意見を言うときに 曖昧にする文化があります。
And also you can choose to remove 振り仮名 or ローマ字 like this. We can also remove English. じゃあちょっと読んでみましょう。日本には自分の意見を言うときに曖昧にする文化があります。So you already see the translation, so I don't have to explain everything. But 時に means when, but it modifies the clause or verb in front of 時に, right? So when you say 自分の意見 your own opinions, and 曖昧な it's an adjective, but if you change the last な of the adjective into に, you make an adverb out of it. So 曖昧な vague, 曖昧に vaguely, and then you add する after an adverb, then you usually translate like make it. So 綺麗な is beautiful, clean. 綺麗に is cleanly or beautifully in a clean way. 綺麗にする means to make it clean. So you can use it about cleaning your room, for example. 部屋を綺麗にする。文化があります。We have a culture. So literally, we have a culture of making it vague when we tell our opinions. 日本語には次のような断定を避ける表現がたくさんあります。次のような following. So 断定する is to come to a conclusion, but it's really like being assertive and saying that something is this way 100%. So when you use words like definitely, 絶対に, that's very assertive, right? The adjective assertive is 断定的な. And then 避ける is to avoid. Like 人を避ける means to avoid people. So we have lots of expressions to avoid being super assertive. So that means we use words like 多分, probably, or かも comes at the end, but it means like maybe. Or we say 思う to think a lot. So I think it's that sounds a lot more natural in Japanese. Like instead of saying this is cute, we would say I think this is cute. It kind of softens. 可愛いと思う. So Japanese people say this 思う a lot in case somebody has a different opinion. We think that if somebody else doesn't feel the same way, doesn't agree with you, it's not good. Like you'd be offending that person. So you say と思う. So maybe 可愛い is not a great example, but let's say you have a negative opinion about something. この漫画面白くない. This manga is not interesting or funny. Well, it's not a nice thing to say, right? And there might be somebody who enjoys the manga saying that it's your opinion. Like, I think that this manga is not great. Softens the blow. So, yeah, we say this と思う a lot. So the example sentences in this article. その提案良さそうですね. Here, you could just say いいですね. Right? It's good. But instead we would add so, which means it seems, it sounds, it looks. So people say that sounds good in English. So it doesn't sound unnatural, but it's more like it seems good. You know, it's a lot more vague than it sounds good. 良さそうですね. Seems good. Like we don't want to say it's great 100% yet because I want to hear other people's opinions. Or here, その提案いいかも. かも or かもしれない means maybe. So it may be good. 次、誰かに 質問するときに、when you ask somebody a question, 日本人は和らげる表現を使います。This 和らげる, you don't use it about making some object soft, for example, then we'd say 柔らかくする, that adverb plus する again. 柔らかい、柔らかく, that's the adverb of 柔らかい. For adjectives, you change the last i into く. Anyway, 柔らげる, this is more about softening the harshness of words, for example, or to relieve the tension or to calm something. This kanji wa is used in a word like 平和, peace. So it's all about making it peaceful and nice and comfortable. So 痛みを和らげる is like to relieve the pain. 成績の方はどうでしたか? This is actually wrong. But Japanese people make this mistake a lot. Like, you will hear this whole in the weirdest places. If you hear a young Japanese person working, you might hear this mistake. So in like a convenience store or restaurants, you might hear this. So for example, in cafes, restaurants, you will hear this something or お持ちしました. It's like here is like literally means I brought you. So they would say コーヒーをお持ちしました. This is a very business Japanese expression. So you will not say this when you have a guest or friend at your home. You say コーヒーどうぞ. We'd say どうぞ, right? But in business situations, we have to speak different language. So we'd say お持ちしました. And you might hear this mistake. Something の方をお持ちしました. And it's wrong because 方 means direction or way, right? But this is used to soften an expression. Japanese people tend to think that the softer you sound, the more polite you seem. And sometimes that's correct, but this expression is wrong and you are taught not to say it. Like my boss, the first thing my boss was like, by the way, I'm not sure you know this, but using 方 is wrong. And yeah. Anyway, 成績の方は, 成績 is grades, right? So asking somebody about their grades is quite direct. Like, it's kind of personal. So they're trying to be soft or polite about it, like about asking something personal. Or it could be a sensitive topic, right? Like maybe they know that if your grades are not great, you can't get into university or something. So it's not like a simple question like, what did you eat yesterday? Then people might use this no ho. And another situation where you'd hear ho is 怪我の方はどう? 怪我 is injury, right? So yeah, it depends on the injury, but it's also a sensitive topic. It can be a sensitive topic. So they try to soften it. So yeah, like I don't want to directly ask you, but how's your injury? Or maybe you will hear this sentence. 会議の方はどうでしたか? So how was the meeting? You can just say 会議はどうでしたか? Right? But maybe your boss seems to be in a bad mood and you want to be soft about it just in case. Or this next sentence is a bit weird, right? 恋人とかはいますか? You can just say 恋人はいますか? To mean, do you have partners? Are you in a relationship? 恋人 is the partner, so 彼女、彼氏. And toka means and so on. So it's like etc. So it sounds like, do you have a partner or something? So yeah, it's not all about softening actually, because 恋人 toka could imply that somebody you like. So maybe that person is not even dating, but maybe they like somebody already. Then yeah, that makes sense. 恋人とかいる? Yeah, it just sounds natural because it's not direct. You see that your friend is like in a bad mood, crying, upset, and you kind of assume that maybe they had a fight with their partner. You can say 喧嘩とかしたの? So 喧嘩, fight, argument, とか, and so on. For example, a fight. したの? Did you? So like, did you have a fight or something? So yeah, it's kind of like or something. And we just skip and 日本人が間接的な表現を好んで使う背景には、摩擦を避け、他人との協調を大切にする日本人の意識があります。So that's the reason, right? 摩擦 is friction. 摩擦を避ける to avoid friction. So Japanese people really hate conflicts or even being different from other people. Having different opinions is bad in Japan. 他人との協調を大切にする。大切にする is like to value, to find something important. So 協調する means to cooperate. 協調 cooperation. Or getting well. So I'm really like that too. I hate conflicts. I hate arguing and yeah. But you shouldn't change your opinion just because somebody said so. We have this cultural concept, wa, which means harmony. And that's really important to us. So when people say Japanese people are nice, I agree. I guess you could say there are less rude Japanese people. It doesn't always come from the happy place, right? We also feel like we have to suppress our opinions, feelings, but it can get frustrating for us too. But yeah, if you're interested, maybe look into the concept wa, because it's also very nice. It's all about being peaceful and, trying to understand each other. It's not all the bad things like suppressing yourself, not having your own opinions. It's not all about that. It's also just trying to understand each other and trying to get along well with each other. And this concept wa is also taken seriously in tea ceremonies. Tea ceremony, we say sado, sado. But you can also read it like chado, but it depends on the school or the tea ceremony style. So there are big 3 schools of tea in Japan. Omote senke, ura senke, mushakoji senke, and you don't have to remember any of these, but yeah, you can tell which house or school of tea they belong to, depending on the way they read the word tea ceremony, sado or chado. So I have practiced the urasenke way, so I would really like chado, but you'd hear the word sado more often on TV, for example. So that's meant to be the standard way to read the word sado, but you will also meet people who read it like chado. I highly recommend you trying out tea ceremony if you have a chance. Usually you can do it in a hotel or something, like even if you don't stay at hotel. Yeah, try some tea ceremony experience. It's very relaxing, but you see that it's not just about, drinking tea or making tea. Like they have to follow super strict rules, like the way they move and But it's very beautiful and it's a part of culture that I really admire. So yeah. And the tea ceremony follows 4 principles. 和、敬、誠、弱. So 和 is what I already talked about. Harmony. So it's all about getting along with each other. And 敬 is respect. So respecting each other. And 誠 is purity. So you have to have a pure heart. And 弱 stands for tranquility. So keeping calm at any time. So 和、敬、誠、弱. Harmony, respect, purity, tranquility. Those 4 principles are what they keep in mind while making tea, drinking tea. So very nice, right? Alright, that's it for today. And Hiragana Times kindly offer discount codes, so they are in the description box, so check them out. You can get 10% off the app if you choose to have a subscription for 1 year. And for 2 years, you get 15% discount. And they also offer other discounts for the actual magazines. Anyway, Hiragana Times is very famous and a lot of Japanese people actually read them. And you can learn a lot about Japan. Like, I am very impressed with the app as well. So yeah, highly recommend it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I'm sorry if I talked a lot. But yeah, I hope you learned something new from this video. Alright, じゃあまたね。バイバイ。